Welcome to the Daddy Sharps featured bets. These are the bets that we also love, in addition to our bets that we share on our podcast.
And you're only going to find these featured bets right here on daddysharps.com, my man.
That's right, Johnny Johns. And hey, check us out on social media at Daddy Sharps and at Daddy Sharps Podcast. You can also check out our YouTube channel. It's pretty cool. And daddysharps.com, of course, to again see those featured bets.
So let's jump right into the free money. I mean, featured bets.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
We're going to start college here, my man. Boise State -3.5 at Utah State. The total here 64.5. And that's the number we like. I'm saying bet the over 64.5. Two teams here, a combined 14-5 on the year to the over. Boise State averaging 34 points a game in conference play. Utah State close behind, 32 points a game in the Mountain West. If I do my math right there, they're averaging over this over. Going back the past 10 matchups between these two, the over is the easy bet. They are hitting it 70% of the time. The key number, remember, this is college football. The key number here is 65. Only take the over at 64.5 or lower.
I like it. I love it. I love me some Boise State.
Yes.
ECU is playing at Navy this weekend. Navy is given 2.5, and the over-under is 32.5. Pretty low. And I'm taking the over in this one. ECU totals have hit the under in 6 of the last 7 games. Navy totals have hit the under in 4 of their last 5 games. But the total between these two teams have hit the over in 7 of their last 10.
Let's go.
Last week, they scored a lot of points, both of them. Our data says take the over 32.5. And that is exactly what I'm doing as a featured bet, Johnny Johns.
Like it. All right. Hey, when the season started, I never thought I'd be betting this game and betting this side. Sam Houston at Western Kentucky, -12.5, 52 is the total. I'm saying bet Sam Houston State University +12.5, my man. I highlighted the Bearcats last week. Sam Houston has played a lot better as the season's gone forward. They scored 10 total points in their first 3 games this year. In their last 3 games, they're averaging 33 points per game. This is a team that started the year 0-8, and now they're riding a 2-game win streak. On the other side, you have Conference USA powerhouse Western Kentucky. And these guys have not looked good this year, going 0-4 against the spread over the past 4 games. They haven't covered a spread over 7 since the first game of the season. I say take the surging Sam Houston State +12.5.
Yeah, they kind of found some offense, didn't they?
Yeah, this is a team that is Division I for the first time this year. They moved up, and now they got their footing.
So South Florida is at UTSA. I'm double dipping here a little bit because I had them as a best bet as well. I had Navy as a best bet as well on the spread. So UTSA is giving 15.5 in this one. The over-under is 67. So here is my featured bet, and I really love this featured bet as well. Almost made it a best bet. South Florida +15.5. And here's why. I'm looking for a backdoor cover. South Florida runs the ball 55% of the time. They need to control the clock in this one to try and win. They're not going to win, but they can try it. And that's the only way they can do it. UTSA has a huge matchup against Tulane, the Green Wave of Cash, next weekend. And the two of them are going to be battling it out to see who really goes to the AAC championship. So UTSA is going to want to get that early late lead and rest players if they can. That's one way to do it. You don't want to be going toe-to-toe with South Florida. It's all a recipe for a backdoor cover. UTSA just wants to win the game, but the Bulls will cover +15.5.
Nice. All right. Nevada at Colorado State, -11.5, 47.5 is the total. All right. I'm betting Nevada here, +11.5. And I swear, I don't always bet against my alum, the Rams. It just seems that way this year. Colorado State, they're a horrible cover team, 0-3 against the spread as a favorite and riding a 3-game spread loss streak. Not a lot has gone well for Nevada this year, but they do have one feather in their cap, my man, and that's covering double-digit spreads as a dog. They're 4-2 in that spot on the year. Colorado State wins this one, but take Nevada +11.5. I like it all the way down to +10.5. Make sure you get that hook on the double digits.
Marking it down. Marking it down.
Yes.
Marshall is playing at South Alabama. South Alabama giving 10.5 in this one to Marshall. The over-under is 49. My bet here, the Jaguars to win and cover the 10.5. I like them better at -10, but, the half point, just wait it out. See if it goes down. See if it goes down. Maybe get that one Saturday morning or buy it. Whatever. I'll probably buy it. Both teams are 5-5 right now, looking to be bowl eligible. However, they can still make it. But Marshall is tanking lately in the later part of the season. 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games. 1-4 against the spread in their last 4 games on the road. I like South Alabama at home here and to pull out the win and to cover.
Woo. All right. This is the Mountain West game of the week here, my friend. This is a big one. This is for a lot of the marbles. I'm not going to say all the marbles, but a lot of the marbles. UNLV at Air Force -3.5. The total here, 47.5. My best bet here, UNLV +3.5. This may be the first time I've bet against Air Force in the last 2 years. The Air Force quarterback, this guy's been hurt recently. He's been forced to leave the last game in Hawaii with an injury. He's one of the best passing quarterbacks Air Force has ever had. Without him, Air Force lost to Hawaii last week. He hurt his knee earlier in the season, and the head coach said, hey, don't worry. He won't miss any significant time. Then he comes back the next game. The week before, Air Force lost to a bad Army team, 23-3. They are on an 0-2 run after getting ranked in the top 25. On the other side, you got UNLV, the hottest team in the Mountain West right now. 9-1 against the spread. I've been riding these guys the last 3 weeks. UNLV 4-0 against the spread as an underdog, and I trust them to keep that streak rolling at +3.5 or more. Do not fall for the +3. Take UNLV at +3.5 and just cash that ticket.
I did. I just jotted it down. I will cash that ticket.
Let's go.
I'm a believer in UNLV right now.
Yes.
They're playing really well.
Yes.
We've got the Louisiana Raging Cajuns at Troy. Troy just lights out football. -16-point favorites. The over-under in this one is 47.5. I like the over in this one. The Raging Cajuns give up 34 points and 390 yards to Southern Miss last week and lost after being favored by more than 9. Now they play the Trojans, who are poised to play for the Sun Belt Championship. Ooh. Right?
Let's go.
Come on now. Louisiana's going to score in this game. They always do. They're going to put up numbers, and that's good. That is great for the over because Troy is going to score a ton. And that equals easy cover to me, over 47.5, which falls just under the key number of 48, by the way, just under.
Well, we like key numbers.
We like key numbers.
Yes.
We like key numbers. So over 47.5 makes sense to me.
All right. I called it the Battle of California earlier. That's what I called it, and that's what we're going to call it here. San Diego State at San Jose State, -14.5. 50.5 is the over-under total here. I took that as a best bet. I like the over. The best bet here for me right now in the featured bets, San Jose State's going to cover -14.5. I'm in on the deadly half-point hook here, Luke.
You're
and in
crazy.
my data, it says we're go. In my power rankings, I have San Jose covering this all the way to 22.5 at a 75% win rate. This is a pure numbers bet, folks. I'm going against the rules. I'm going 14.5. In the last 4 games for San Jose State, they are 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread. On the year, they're 8-2 against the spread. And you know what they say, Luke. Good teams win, great teams cover. San Jose State wants to be great, and they want to cash for us. The matchup to watch here, San Jose State's 26th ranked scoring offense against the pretty mediocre San Diego State 83rd ranked scoring defense. San Jose in the upset over Fresno State dropped 42 on the 51st ranked defense. This is a little worse defense here. They should find the end zone enough to cover our -14.5.
Great quarterback. They got a great quarterback. We've been waiting for this all season. Here they come at the end of the season. Everyone looking for a bowl. Everyone looking for getting to a bowl game.
Yep.
Love it. Love that one. And I love this one too. This one makes sense to me. Tulane, the Green Wave of Cash, land 9.5 points at Florida Atlantic. The over-under in this one is 47. I like FAU, the Owls, in a backdoor cover here, plus 9.5. For the same reasons I talked about with UTSA. Tulane is 1-6, by the way. 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games. Like, just doing just enough to win, but not covering spreads. Last week, they barely beat a 3-6 Tulsa team. That was crazy. I think the Green Wave on the road will be looking past the Owls, however. Easy win, it should be, because they're going to be looking at their next huge game against UTSA. The winner of that game will go to the AAC championship. So it's kind of like the championship game right there. I like the Owls plus 9.5 here. Buy it all the way up to 10 if it makes you feel safer. But I'm telling you, Tulane will win this game, no problem. But 1-6 against the spread in their last 7. I think they're going to do just enough to win that game on the road.
You're calling it the classic trap game, my man.
Trap.
You got your eye on it. All right. We are all over this game. I think we've got 3 total bets on this game.
Yeah, we do.
You got a best bet on it, and I've got 2 featured bets on it. I'm going to mention the last featured bet later. But first, we're going to start here. The LA Chargers minus 3.5 at the Green Bay Packers. 44 is the over-under, and that's the number I like. I like under 44. Full disclosure here, Luke, I got this number at 44.5 yesterday. 44, still okay. It's a key number, so if you're playing the 44, you may get the push. Buy the half point if it's not too expensive. So what have you done for me lately? Well, the Packers have been hitting the under a lot. 4-1 to the under in the last 5 games. The Chargers have been hot on the under as well. 4-1 in the last 5 games. I never would have thought that was going to happen. Do not buy this number any lower than 44.
I won't. I like that too. I like the under. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. For me, at my book that I like to go to, it's a pick 'em. At others, we shop around at. I think it's a -1 for Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah. They're still favored by 1. Yep. Over under in this one is a low 33, and that dropped as well when it was announced that Watson was out. In our best bets, you like the Steelers at plus 4.5 and at home, and you bought that early in the week, and that's why you shop early in the week for your numbers. And then Deshaun Watson announced that he's done for the season. You're in a great spot, John. You're in a great spot. You now have some money to play with. You can stretch another bet if you want to, or hedge this one. But you can set yourself up right now with that plus 4. Or I don't know what you're going to do with it, but bet something else counter to the plus 4 to just hedge it or win both. I don't know. What are you going to do? That should be a whole nother podcast. What's John going to do with his plus 4?
I like it.
So data shows that the Steelers are going to cover all the way to a pick 'em for me. Pick 'em, it gets kind of iffy. It gets iffy. And I really like the Browns in a pick 'em to win. Actually, I just do. My data does. They played in week 2, these two teams. Cleveland played in week 2 in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers won that one by 4. And now Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR as he's known, will start at quarterback at home. 5th rounder. I think I said earlier it was a 6th rounder. He's a 5th rounder from UCLA.
Yes.
And the guy can, he's not that good. He's young, but he can run. And he will probably need to run very fast and away from Steelers defense. But the Steelers are also playing, arguably, again, the number 1 defense in the league, Cleveland. We cannot overlook that. The books all agree this is a close game. It's a pick 'em or a -1. And teams tend to rally when faced with something like this. I rely on data, and that Browns defense, I like him here. Again, in a pick 'em, and this is my featured bet, I like the Browns to win.
Oh, nice. I like it. He'll get his first win. All right. Tennessee at Jacksonville, -6.5, 40.5 is the total. My best bet here, the under 40.5. And yes, there are still some 40.5s out there, but you're going to have to pay a little bit extra for them. The VIG right now at -115. Tennessee has been hitting the under all year, 7-2 that direction. The only thing that stopped me from making this a best bet, Tennessee's weakness is a pass defense. Lawrence, this guy could have a day here, but they are a top 10 scoring defense. Vrabel will be out there trying to play keep away from this offense, protecting his young quarterback, and he's got a hell of a running back to do it in Derrick Henry. I like the under 40.5.
Yep, I do too. I like that one a lot. That's a good bet. But you got to get that hook. You got to get that hook.
Yes.
The Eagles, this is my next bet for a featured bet. The Eagles are at Kansas City. It's going to be a hell of a game. The Chiefs giving 2.5 in this one. The over-under is 46. And we talked a lot about that over-under. Not sure yet. It's supposed to be a weather game, and I would say the under, but I think these teams are going to score a lot of points in this game if the weather is not bad. So my bet here is a featured bet is the Eagles +3. My data likes them there. I think the Eagles cover the 2.5, but which is what the bet is right now at most books. But I like the 3 better. I'm willing to pay for it. I'm just gonna could it be a push? Yeah, I think the Eagles actually win this game, but I'm willing to spend the money. I'm willing to do it. I'm banking on the Chiefs to continue with a struggle on offense here. Again, we talked about the weather a little bit. Could be, maybe not though. I think you were telling me earlier it's leaning like toward not being a weather game.
Yeah.
But here's what I like. Here's a cool stat that I read today. Andy Reid is you're gonna hear all these stats. Andy Reid after a bye week is that and scary numbers. He's 12-3 after a bye week of this period of time. You gotta hear some people say over the past 20 years. Well, is that relevant? I don't know.
It's a lot of different quarterbacks there.
That's just a little crazy, man. But
Yep.
12-3 is a good range of years. He's coming off a bye. He's 7-8 against the spread, however, in those games. Yeah. So the Eagles running game, they're going to make the difference in this one. They're going to run all day long. Going to be a great game. I will take the points. I like the Eagles 2.5. If that's scary to you, buy it up to a 3. I'll probably do that. But I'm definitely going to buy the Eagles on the plus side and the points I think they're going to win the game, but I'll take the points.
I will definitely tail you on that one. You got to have some skin in that game. That might be the game of the year right there.
How can Super Bowl, baby? It's a Super Bowl.
Rematch. All right, here we go. Tampa Bay at San Francisco, -10.5. The total here, 42. I like betting the under 42. The number is on the move down. I still like it at 41.5. That's where it is at some books right now. You might be able to still find a 42 out there, but do not go lower than that 41.5. I agree with the books here. This should be a blowout, but I like the under because my data saying Baker Mayfield will not be able to score enough here. The Bucs are 7-2 to the under on the year. Their average total over the last 5 games set by the book, 41, and they are 4-1 to the under in those games. You're getting 41.5 here. So I feel this is a pretty safe under, my fan.
I do too. I agree with you. Baker's not going to score anything in this game. And that's what the bet really is, right? That he's not going to, and you're going to hit that under.
Right.
I think it's a lock.
It's an under, and you're still going to be sweating it because San Francisco might score 35.
Right. Right. You need Tampa Bay to put up some kind of defense and just not score. But I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
Yep.
Dude, just enough to win in a game like that if you're San Francisco. The New York Giants are playing at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are laying 10 at home. The over-under in this one is 37, so a low-scoring game. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I just believe in this. I think the data bears it out. And the quarterback is horrible, but other players are going to take over. Betting the Giants in a divisional game, divisional dogs, plus 10 on the road.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I'm betting the Giants plus 10.
Oh, okay.
Divisional dogs.
Hey, I like it too. Unbelievable.
And here's why. The Commanders, they crisscrossed the country last week, losing to the Seahawks in the final seconds of that game. That sucks. And then you got to get on a 6-hour flight or a 5-hour flight. They're feeling the impact of trading away their best defensive players. That doesn't feel good.
No.
Also, hey man, this is the NFL. The Giants are going to find a way. They're not going to be losers all season. They won't lose by double digits every week, and especially in a divisional game. They will cover the 10 on the road as the divisional dog in what will be definitely a low-scoring game.
Yes. Like it, sir. All right, here we are. We're at the Arizona at Houston. The number was -5. I believe you can find it right now. Some places -4.5. We like Houston -4.5. I like this number all the way to -5.5 for Houston. I'm asking the Texans to do something here. They have not done all season. Cover as a favorite. They have been a favorite 3 times so far this year and have failed to cover all 3, including just losing 2 of those games straight up. However, Arizona, I know everybody out there, they got Kyler Murray back. Yeah. But on the year, they are 1-3-1 against the spread on the road, only covering in week 1 against Washington. And like I mentioned, Kyler Murray is back, but he's not going to be able to play defense. And that's where the Cardinals suck. They are the 28th ranked scoring defense against the scoring offense of the Texans, which is top 10 in the league. Is CJ Stroud the next Dan Marino? I don't know, but he's looking like it right now. Take the Texans to cover 4.5. I like it all the way to 5.5.
Heard a lot of sharps talking about you got to bet against, you got to fade CJ Stroud at some point because come on, man, he's going to fall back to earth. He's got to fall back to earth, but he's not. So,
right.
There was also this stat out there that's, Ohio State quarterbacks are, if you go back and look at the last that, in the NFL, in their first season, they didn't win more than 5 games. None of them did. And they're all just did horribly. And not CJ Stroud. Why can't that be different? The guy's good. Right. He's doing well. Why bet against him and try to fade him because it's going to happen? Maybe he's just going to be good because he's proving it every week.
Right. I think he did it the Bengals last week. The Bengals. This guy did it to the Bengals.
All right, another bet I've got a teaser here for a featured bet. First leg is this is a good one. Minnesota Vikings at the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos favored by 2 at home. The over-under is 43. I'm teasing the Vikings up to +8 on the road. I like the Vikings that they're making it happen with their new quarterback. The Broncos are on a run right now. They look really good. And runs don't last necessarily in NFL. I think they will win this game. I do like Denver -2, but I do want to play it safe as well. So I'm going to tease up the Vikings. The second leg in this one, the Chicago Bears are playing at the Detroit Lions. That line just moved down to -8.5 for Detroit. I love that it did. The over-under, by the way, is 48 because I'm teasing the Lions down to a 2.5 at home. I love that in a divisional game where, look, I don't care who's playing quarterback for the Bears. I don't care. The Lions' run game is on fire, as you know, because of your fantasy team. The Lions are on a run themselves that could land them as a high seed in the playoffs if they keep winning. They've got an easy schedule from here on out. They know they need to win games like this one at home, and they will, but I like the safety of that -2.5 at home paired with the Vikings up to a +8 on the road. That's my teaser.
It's a strong teaser, my man. All right. I alluded to this in the podcast, and here we are. The golden goose of bets, featured bets, a type of bet we have never given in our podcast or in the featured bets section. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers -3 at the Green Bay Packers 44. My bet here, the Chargers first half. We're betting first half -2.5. Not a bet we usually give out, like we said, but I love the Chargers to cover the first half this week. My numbers say they will cover this 2.5, 67% of the time. I actually like this number through the 3, but absolutely love it under that for obvious reasons. Take a look at these numbers, Luke. The Chargers, a top 5 scoring offense in the first and second quarters this year, versus the Packers, a middle of the road defense in the first half. Now flip those numbers around. The Packers, one of the worst offenses in the league at scoring in the first half. They won't be able to keep up, and Chargers only got to be winning by a field goal. Take the Chargers -2.5 in the first half.
Yeah, definitely a good beat there. Aaron Jones injured. Jordan Love, can't bet him. The guy's just, he puts up good numbers, then he throws 2 picks. He's not going to be good.
Right? Yes.
Just forget him. Hey, man, this is one we talked about earlier as well, and I'm going for it. Dallas Cowboys giving 11 on the road at the Carolina Panthers. The over-under in this one is 42, and that is my bet. The under 42. The Cowboys are 3-2 to the over and away games. Give them that. 2-1 to the over in their last 3 away games. They don't play well straight up in away games as they do at home. They're killing it at home. The
Mhm.
Panthers are 0-4 hitting the over at home. They're 0-4 at home hitting their team total as well. That said, the Cowboys are 2-3 on the road straight up, as I mentioned, not as good. Carolina plays better at home, but they're terrible. They're not a good team.
Yes, they are.
This will either be Dallas, like a Dallas stinker game where they just kind of, they just
Yeah.
play down to the team
do Dallas
they're
things.
horrible. Yeah, do Dallas Dak things, right?
Yep.
Or it's another run up the lead real fast and then bench Dak kind of game. Take him out, take all the starters out. Either way, I think that under hits. I don't think Carolina scores anything here, and it's all up to Dallas where they implode or they just run up the lead and just sit on it.
I like it. I'm tailing you on that, sir.
Awesome,
and that'll be a sweater too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. That's like that's another one of those games where Dallas could score 35 and you're just sitting there like, okay, just win like that, 35-3.
Love it. Good.
All right. So that does it for the Daddy Sharps featured bets this week. And remember, always gamble responsibly and within your means. And the bets we shared are based on our own research. We don't always win. Always.
Yeah. Not always, but this week I have a feeling. I got a feeling. And be sure to check us out on social media. Look for the Daddy Sharps on Instagram and Twitter. Check out more of our website, of course, daddysharps.com. And we will be back next week with much, much more, John.
Luke, who is your daddy?
We are.
Stay sharp, everyone.